welcome back. Welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies. And in today's video, guys, we are going to be talking about Ahsoka. I am not here alone. Actually, I have my good buddy, Army Initiative, here to actually talk about how fantastic the show actually was. And the reason why I'm with him and not my usual co-host is they both canceled on me. So that's why we're not doing the TMT stream. I will eventually get to do that stream, hopefully by next Friday. But yeah, he didn't get a chance to talk about the Ahsoka show yet, so I wanted to give him a chance to talk about the Ahsoka show. Plus, I loved it. I could talk an hour about. I could talk endlessly about it. But yeah, without further ado, Army Initiative, tell the people where they can find Jetman.
Okay, so where you can find me is, as always, on YouTube. Channels hit roughly 466 subscribers. Huge collaborations happening right now on the channel. Really excited about that. But as always, I still love Star Wars. I might be making, I may have quit stop motion content for Star Wars, but that doesn't mean I'm not interested in talking about Star Wars when I get the chance, which is why I'm really happy I could join this stream right now, because I love Star Wars as much as any Star Wars fan. And when I get the chance to talk about something like this, I will pretty much take the opportunity. So if you want to find me, you can go ahead, follow me on YouTube. You can also follow my Discord, which is completely open to people. So yeah, that's where you can find me. But anyhow, I'll let you take the floor, Dylan.
Yeah, absolutely. So I did go live with my buddy Ninja243, and we'll be going live every single time there's a new episode that drops. We'll be giving our initial thoughts on it. So those will be on fun streams. They'll be on both my channel and his channel. I also plan to do a whole bunch of Ahsoka related videos coming to the channel within the next few weeks. So look forward to those. As for me, you can find me usually in Army Initiative's chats. I normally don't go on his streams, but I normally am in his chats. You can find me on Nindroid243's channel, as well as the Austin whenever he goes live. But with
And
that
he is on my
said,
server too. He is on my
I
server.
am on your server as well. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you guys check out him and all of his stuff, all of his server. He's a really cool dude. He's a really good friend of mine. But with that said, guys, yeah, absolutely. What has been the Ahsoka show to you? With that said, I see some comments. Let's see.
These are some of my fans hopping in the chat.
Yes.
Hey,
Absolutely.
listen, they love it when I go live with anyone. So
Yep. With that said, absolutely. Oh, and by the way, guys, I am 12 subs. 12. I'm counting down now. I have 12 subs. 12 of them from me and 200, guys.
hey,
Subscribe.
if you're any of my viewers, I know you don't watch a lot of views that are Star Wars related, but please go subscribe to Dylan so we can get him to 200.
I am very close. I'm 12 subs away from him. But with that said, yeah, Army Initiative, go ahead and start up giving your thoughts on the latest 2 episodes of Ahsoka, man. I think they've been a blast.
So, episode 1, pretty interesting start off scene. Kind of reminded me of Phantom Menace, if I'm being honest. But instead of being good guys boarding enemy ship, it's the opposite. The villains. It was pretty cool. And when it was Jedi, I thought it was Imperial at first, and then I realized it was just 2 Jedi, and I was like, oh shit. And then when I found out it was Jedi, I'm like, I think I remember for this from the trailer, but I want to see if this is gonna happen. And then the 2 Jedi who are actually, I think they're still Jedi because technically they're not Sith, but they're not good evil.
Yeah, the
either.
community has been labeling them as Dark Jedi.
I think honestly that's all they are, because they use the dark side abilities. But like the thing is, even though we saw some of the footage from the trailer, it was really cool when they whipped their sabers out and started chopping through soldiers. Part of me suspected, though, because Disney does not kill people when people get stabbed, is that the one guy, the captain who got stabbed, part of me thinks he's still alive just because when Reva survived, Grand Inquisitor survived, Sabine survived, why can't he survive too? But that's besides the point. Um,
Yeah, I'm sitting here, and you know what? I actually talked about this on my buddy Tim's stream. I'm also on Tim Talks. Go check him out, guys. Fantastic guy. On him, we were actually discussing the whole stabbing thing, and it's interesting because there's this whole thing of yes, technically where she got stabbed, she could survive being stabbed right there, but at the same time, it's kind of like why is everyone surviving being stabbed in the chest by a lightsaber?
it's like
So it
it's
was
like
an
it's like
interesting
what's the
issue
point of
talking
having a
about.
lightsaber if they just straight up don't work? It just doesn't make sense. But still, and the hallway scene definitely gave me Rogue One vibes too. When the rebels are running from the Jedi, the Dark Jedi. Definitely Rogue One vibes from when Darth Vader cut through rebels, which is always my favorite scene. He even used the Vader move, which was to choke one of the rebels in front of him. That was cool. The orange saber, definitely interesting color choice. Never seen that color used in Star Wars before. But it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think they're also doing that to signify that it's a dark Jedi but not a Sith, so they're using orange instead of red. It's interesting.
Yeah. I will say the droid in Ahsoka's ship, I'm pretty sure that's the same droid who helps like those several younglings build their
It
lightsabers in the
is.
Clone Wars. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's cool. It's pretty cool to see that droid once again, because honestly, that droid was funny as hell in the Clone Wars. It's cool to see that a couple of them actually survived. The purge of the Jedi Order, which supposedly all of them should have died, but since the Empire absolutely sucks, like 20% of the Jedi still lived. Um, Not gonna lie though, the scene where Ahsoka is like trying to find the map, I guess I was confused. I mean, it was pretty obvious it was a Night Sister area because of the big ass statue, um, but it was still pretty cool. And when I finally figured out what was going on, I'm like, oh wait, that's the map to Thrawn. And speaking of Thrawn, so Thrawn is definitely an interesting villain. I don't really like him too much, but I feel like this is pretty strange. I feel like
You might be the only person who will ever say that, but hey.
he's quite literally that. He's I mean, look, the way that he's somehow Thrawn is somehow talking to the Night Sister from across another galaxy feels a little like too much for a Grand Admiral like Thrawn, more like a Force user like Palpatine. But I guess it makes sense. I mean, it's Admiral Thrawn. It's not like but Thrawn wasn't a huge deal either. He's not like this huge villain. It seems a little too much for him. He's just a blue alien dude with a bad temper. But still, it's pretty damn cool to see, like, because Thrawn was like hella dangerous. Like there was no infiltrating Thrawn's bases. He knew it was you the moment it happened. Thrawn immediately knew when it was Hera Syndulla infiltrated his base in Rebels. So it makes sense that
Yep.
he would be dangerous. But it still feel like he's being a little overrated. He is literally only a Grand Admiral. Feels like they're overrating him. But what's cool to think is that Ezra's alive. And part of me still thinks Ezra's the Inquisitor. I would not be surprised.
I really hope that is not the case. Actually, I think the Inquisitor might be Barriss Offrey.
No, I'm
Or
pretty sure Barriss
Starkiller.
is dead. Barriss is probably dead. Starkiller is canon, so I don't think he would be in it. And plus, if it was Starkiller, Ahsoka would be dead. Remember that. Starkiller would have cut her up in
Yeah,
pieces.
if it is Starkiller, they nerfed him.
They gave him a huge game nerf. They debuffed him. They made his character worse. No, but I think it's either it was a male. You could tell by the way they're grunting in the
Yeah.
fight. So it's
It looks like a
definitely
male to me too.
so I think it's definitely Ezra, because this is the kind of twist that Disney would do, because it's Disney and they're
I hope
becoming
it's not.
predictable. I know, but let's be real here. It probably is because it's Disney. But that's not the key. But even if it is Ezra, going back to the first episode, the whole Sabine Wren thing, I feel like Sabine is still the same character she was with a slightly worse attitude.
Yeah.
Instead of growing
Oh
out of
no,
her
she had the exact same attitude in Star Wars Rebels, actually. If you
yeah,
really
instead
think
of
about
growing out of her teenage phase, she just stayed in it into adulthood.
it. Uh-huh.
She's quite literally the only person I know in Star Wars who absolutely sucks at listening to people. Like, she doesn't even show up for a speech. Why would you schedule her for a speech when you should have known she was just gonna be like, I'm done. Goodbye.
Yep.
She just runs off to the Ezra Bridger's old home, which part of me thinks she has feelings for Ezra in a way because she's constantly rewatching the clip of Ezra admitting he's gonna disappear. Um, I want to see Ezra though. It's confirmed he's here. There's no way that Ezra's dead at this point. Because if Thrawn's alive, Thrawn would not have killed Ezra because that would be stupid. I mean, he quite literally could use him as a prisoner or turn him. Now, if Ezra in fact is the Inquisitor, it's the mystery of how did he get turned to the dark side? How is he working for Thrawn? Because if Ezra's alive, clearly something had to have happened between Thrawn and him. Either he's captive, which I sincerely doubt because it's Ezra Bridger, or he's turned to the dark side. And a lot of me suspects that he has because something about it just doesn't add up. So I'm suspicious about it. As for the lady being a Dathomir witch, apparently Dathomir witches are Asian. Apparently a Dathomir witch just defines as Asian in America. And that's not be racist.
You're not
It's
wrong there,
quite
but I really like it. I really like the fact that they're
I
trying
know,
to
but
tie in
it's
all
just she
that
doesn't
together.
she could be using hypothetically, she could be using um like magic to cover up the fact that she's a witch, or
Yep.
or Disney's
That's
just
what I think is
racist,
going
or
on.
Disney's just racist, or Disney's just straight up racist. It's one of the
Actually,
two.
you know what? It's probably that because let's face it.
Let's face it, it's
What's
Disney.
up, Lizzie? Nice to see you in the chat.
But continuing on, I was not surprised to see Sabine still had Ezra's lightsaber, which because it seems about right. The assassin droids were a nice touch, but they felt a little overpowered at times, and other times they just felt unnecessary. They were cool though. Definitely not as cool as IG droids though. IG droids are my personal favorite Terminator droids in Star Wars. I mean, what's your opinion, Dylan, on the droids?
The droids, I really sorry, I'm also eating pizza while we
I can
talk.
tell.
But yeah, I liked the droids. I liked the whole scene with them going after Ahsoka and everything. I honestly, it felt like Star Wars. Like Star Wars has always had droids. It felt like Clone Wars even. So I had no problem with droids being in this. I know a lot of people else did, which I look at those people. I'm like, did you watch the same thing I watched? Because all I saw was Ahsoka beating up some really cool droids. I mean, come on, what's
I
the
think
problem?
Melvin. Well, for example, Knights of Melvin just doesn't like that it's all females.
Yeah, okay, so I want to actually talk about something.
I
about
hope he
that real
doesn't
quick.
come on the stream and cancel us because, trust me, I'm not
Yeah,
all about
I want
Disney.
so I want to look at like everybody out there, right? So this is Disney, and this is me, and you know what? Hold on, I gotta turn on my face cam for this. Okay, so normally, if this was anything but Ahsoka, I would look at you and I would go, Disney has stupid girl power agenda, and I can't stand it. But dude, you know what? Legit, Ahsoka never pushed any of that once, and I was worried. I was so worried that
No,
this
I was
show
too. I felt
was
like they
going
were
to
gonna
be
really push it with the 3 women in this, like they did in
exactly. I
Mando when
thought they were
Mando's
gonna
just
do that
like when
too.
Mando's just cowering behind a wall and Cosca Reeves and Bo-Katan are just striding forward, killing everyone. That's the time
I
when Disney
swear.
pushes the woman being more powerful than men.
Exactly, and I swear if they did that with Ahsoka, I
They're
want
gonna.
Ahsoka
They're
the
gonna.
character,
They're
not
gonna
Ahsoka
do
the
it.
female. I
They're
hope they
doing
don't.
it.
So far, the first 2 episodes, they have not done that. They probably will, and when they do, I will be so mad because I want Ahsoka the character, not Ahsoka the female. And I do not like the term female character, and here's why. It doesn't matter if it's a man, doesn't matter if it's a girl. It matters on whether or not it's a great character, and Ahsoka, for the longest time, has always been a fantastic character despite being a girl. It doesn't matter. So,
I mean, she was an annoying prick though at the start of the Clone Wars. That all.
absolutely, absolutely. But that's kind of like the charm she
That's
has.
why they had to literally remake the character.
Pretty
'Cause
much.
she was
By the second season, she was a completely different character.
No, she quite literally was a different character. One thing I don't like, guess what Ahsoka did to Sabine? The same thing she did to the Jedi Order. She got up and went and left. Like, quite literally annoys the shit out of me. Like, Ahsoka
I know. I
talks
think
about
it's a good part
being
of
a
her
better character.
So far.
Is she so good? Why does she constantly abandon people? Like, you abandoned Sabine after abandoning the Jedi Order, and last time you abandoned someone, he became Darth Vader. And now you abandoned Sabine and expect it to not go the same way. She comes back and expects Sabine to be like loyal and shit, and it's like, my guy, you left and did not come back. What do you want?
True.
And another thing, I love how unattentive Sabine was during the whole speech. She's just like, until Ezra was brought up, she's like, bye, bitch. Like, go away. No more. I know. Something about him. And then Ezra gets brought up, and then she all of a sudden she's like, what? And then she's still the same person, too. She still steals everything. That's nothing.
That's absolutely true. But you know what I really like about it? And this is the weirdest thing, right? And I hear a lot of people actually have problems. They say, "Oh, this is not Ahsoka. This is not Hera. This is not Sabine." I'm like, guys, have you watched the same show I'm watching? Because guess what? They all acted like that in Star Wars Rebels, guys. Exactly the same. They haven't changed
at the same exact character, except Ahsoka's more quiet.
Except they're older. That's the only thing that's changed.
Except Ahsoka's actor is black. Whereas before she was a Twi'lek. That doesn't matter. Because guess what?
Hey, Rosario Dawson's fantastic in the role, though.
Oh no, she's quite impressive. I will put that out there. She does a good job playing her role. And seeing Hera was interesting. I mean, it was kind of like seeing Zeb in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Weird seeing these two universes finally collide, but it's also cool. I honestly like.
What did you think about the art piece? Because that was another.
Oh yeah, no, that
we had on
it was nice to see that being shown again. The art piece of all the OG Rebel characters. Because look, while Rebels struggled a lot in a lot of places to be a good show, because at times it just felt repetitive and stupid. It was good towards the end when Ezra banished Thrawn. But the thing is, I thought Thrawn and him were going to be in an eternal loop of hyperspace. It's really interesting to think that Thrawn was actually banished, which I have a feeling we're going to see the old Star Destroyer too, and the old Imperial.
Oh, absolutely.
Being destroyed.
Absolutely. We will.
Yeah, and that's going to be, it's going to give you like Rise of Skywalker vibes. Because if there's one good thing about Rise of Skywalker, it was seeing the old Death Star wreckage. If there was one good thing about the sequels, it was seeing the wreckage. It gave me like good vibes.
That was. I wish those scenes were like I wish there was 3 times more of the Death Star wreckage in those scenes. Like,
dude, here, and you're like, this is completely unrelated to Ahsoka, but think back to Rise of Skywalker sitting in the theater for the first time. And you're in the Death Star. And you hear the old theme song from when Luke approached Palpatine. and you just see Palpatine's throne and all those old stormtrooper helmets. It's
They
like
were so cool. That was such a great moment.
and the music, like the one time it really gave me the OG trilogy feeling, and like that Disney still has some respect for the old trilogy, was then. And the vibes, the one time that I respected Disney Star Wars, and I rarely say that because Disney Star Wars is, but I honestly think that that scene was great in Rise of Skywalker. So it would be amazing if Ahsoka could do something similar and have like a scene just dedicated to showing the old Imperial remnants, like some dead Death Troopers too, because there were Death Troopers on that ship. Maybe Thrawn's personal guard with those staffs, and just have like old Imperial music playing. Now,
That would
chances
be
are
great.
there are some stormtroopers still alive. I mean, if Thrawn's still alive, chances are
Yeah.
some of them are
So
probably.
here's another big question, man. How much Thrawn do you think we're going to get in this versus how much Thrawn you actually want in this?
Um, I have a feeling Thrawn is probably not going to be in this show for a long time. Now,
Neither do I. I feel like he might show up the last 5 minutes of the show.
of the whole show and then die. But we could see him return because if you
In the
remember the
movie.
map that was used to find Thrawn, Thrawn is seen in that scene looking at the
Mhm.
map. So he will be returning to the galaxy. Therefore, Ezra's coming back in the
Yeah, I
form of
can't
the
wait for Ezra.
like. And if Ezra isn't there, I'm sorry, Disney, but we're done. I'm done with Disney.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, if Ezra's not there, the show is just a flat out letdown because Ezra
Oh
Bridger
dude.
is the one character I like. I mean, yes, Ezra's immature. Yes, his character is kind of shit, but I still want to see him make a return after he has such a good finale and we lost Kanan.
Yep. Oh, and Kanan was such an emotional loss too.
Yeah, no,
But
I was
what I was
blown
going to
away.
say is, dude, you know what would be really bad is
What?
okay, we kill Ezra off because he's a man, and then we make Sabine Wren the Jedi because she's a girl. So far, I
If
hope they
they
don't
do
do
that, I'm
that.
done. We're not. We're not.
And so far, Sabine Wren has basically been confirmed, but they can retcon this in the next episode that she is not force sensitive, even though she's trained to become a Jedi. What do you feel about that?
I don't think she should be the replacement for Ezra. Ezra is such a
No, she
unique
shouldn't.
character. Ezra's
Yeah.
such a unique character, and he's
She
great on
better
a
never
lot
get force
of
powers. That's what
She,
I'm saying, you know?
I mean, yes, it was cool for her to have the dark saber and be able to use a lightsaber too, but she's no Jedi. She's a fucking Mandalorian. That's not the same thing. I mean, yeah, she's cool, but she's not Ezra. And Ezra is Ezra. And I'm sorry, but we're not going to kill off a random character and replace him with Sabine Wren, of all people. Like, no offense. She's cool, but she's not that cool. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But that's not what I want to see. And dude, something I'm thinking about now that I think long and hard about it. You know how the scientists were never able to create Darth Supreme Leader Snoke in Mandalorian?
Mhm.
What if Thrawn has something to do with the creation of Snoke? Thrawn might have a bigger role in this. Thrawn might
Oh, that'd be in that.
Thrawn might
It's
also
one of those
start the
things
First
where,
Order.
yeah, that might be interesting. That might be how they go that route.
Yeah. It could be because they have to, because these shows are leading up to the rise of the First Order. That's pretty much what happens through here. I mean, the galaxy, yes, they are futilely trying to prevent another war, and they keep trying, and they keep fucking it up because still Imperial remnants are literally everywhere. Like the Empire is still operating under.
Yeah, I
the
mean
Republic.
that's why literally in the second episode we had Imperial
Imperial
officers
loyalists pull out their.
Imperial loyalists. Yeah, you're right.
I like how
Literally
Star
put
Wars has
together a
no
giant ion
hesitation
engine.
to show woman characters being killed, while before they were so like touchy about it. In Star Wars nowadays, they have no hesitation to show a female character get sliced by a lightsaber.
Yep.
Before they cared too much, but you know how it is in the film industries. They can't show certain things. Um, Sabine Wren getting stabbed was unexpected. It was a very similar scene to Qui-Gon Jinn getting stabbed. Pretty same movement, and then she was perfectly fine.
It's so stupid, but
Just don't
if you
stab
look at
her.
where she got
Have
stabbed,
Ahsoka drop in and scare the damn Dark Jedi off instead of getting Sabine stabbed like a loser. How did
yeah.
Sabine last that long? She was
Well,
absolute garbage.
well, technically, if you think about where she got stabbed versus where, and this was the whole thing on my buddy's Tim channel, but compared to where she got stabbed, compared to where Qui Gon got stabbed, she could actually survive the stabbing, as strange as it is. It's
Yeah.
still a lifesaver.
But yeah, no, agreed. Yeah, but it's still it's stupid in the end of it all.
Yeah.
But going back to the First Order talk, I want to think long and hard because at this point, I think there's been several years of no war. They say Thrawn could start another war. Thrawn returns. Therefore, I'm pretty sure another war begins. Yeah. So this show could end with the rise of the First Order. Thrawn could be the new ruler, and Thrawn could be the one who knows how to bring Snoke to life. Thrawn is literally probably the only one, and chances are Thrawn also knows that Palpatine's still alive. He probably knows everything. Because, again, Grand Admiral Thrawn was the mastermind behind the Empire. He knew everything next to Grand Moff Tarkin.
He already knew that Vader was Anakin.
Yeah, he quite literally knew everything. So that means he was the Emperor's right-hand man. Therefore, Thrawn probably knows exactly what's going to happen. Thrawn probably knows the secret to bring back. Why else would Thrawn be so important? Why would they care so much? I mean, yeah, maybe the Night Sister's loyal to Thrawn and she can hear him calling, but there's got to be a bigger plot to bring Thrawn back for them to care this much about him. He's not a huge character. Yes, they want another war, but why? They know how to start another war. It really, you have to think about it. They want Thrawn back because he's the only one who probably knows the secret. This is my theory. He's the only one who knows the secret to cloning and bringing Snoke to life. It's really interesting if you think hard about it. Thrawn, I think, has a huge role to play in the creation of the sequels. And he might not. It might be a completely different character. I'm hoping that they make him more important than this because, again, Disney's been a big letdown in the past. I want to see Disney not be a letdown. I want to see Disney make a comeback with Thrawn and have him. And most of all, want Ezra to be okay.
I hope they don't make Ezra the Inquisitor because that would literally just butcher his character.
I have a feeling they're going for Tron vibes, though, in a lot of way. One thing they want to probably go for, you know how like in Tron, Tron is like the villain, but he's also, he was originally the good guy. We don't see a lot of him in that movie, but he ends up being the guy who was mind washed. Since Disney made that movie, chances are they're going to try to repeat that with this movie.
Oh, I hope not, but we'll see.
The thing is, I think something, if Ezra is dark, chances are when you're going through light speed that fast, there's no, again, those windows, all like something could happen in hyperspace. I mean, there's probably a reason they have glass. Part of it is to make sure they don't get blasted by the supersonic speed. But because they're around so many force-sensitive beings in that hyperspeed for that long, something could have happened. Now, I don't want it to be like Star Wars Explained thought it would end, or at least the woman, and have it some kind of weird, what they called it? I don't know, but basically it was where they form a romance. The woman on it said that she hoped there was some kind of romance that happens. So you know the thing where you come attracted to your kidnapper? That's
Yeah,
what
I know what you're talking about.
that's what she wants this to
Oh
be.
God, no! Why would? Oh
I
God,
saw
no!
that and I'm like, if Disney does this, someone please buy Star Wars.
I know, right?
Hold on, let me look it up real quick. What's it called when
I know
someone?
what you're talking about. Something syndrome. Obviously.
Hold on,
Is it Stockholm? No.
it's on the tip of my tongue. Stockholm syndrome.
Is it?
Yeah. So the thing is, Stockholm syndrome is what Star Wars Explained wanted this to be, and it's like, if that's how it went with Thrawn, that's gay.
Yeah, I don't want that. I'm
I
sorry.
don't think Ezra's gonna develop feelings for Thrawn in hyperspace. He's just trying to stay alive. He's not fucking getting gay for Thrawn. Like, I saw that,
Exactly.
and then even Star Wars Explained was like, I'm pretty sure Thrawn's asexual. Like, no, this is
Dude,
not
I want to
happening.
go to that guy and ask, like, what are you on?
No, it
That
wasn't
makes
even
you
him.
think that
Even
this is alright.
Even Explained was against it. It was the woman he was talking to. She
Oh
quite
God.
literally knows nothing about Star Wars, and she thinks Thrawn and Ezra are gonna become gay lovers. I don't know why it's so funny. The fact that someone is so
The
clear,
very idea, dude.
it's such a bad idea. It's funny. It's funny. It's just so stupid because it's never gonna happen. This is Star Wars, and if Disney
It's
does
like
this,
everyone who thinks R2, D2, and C3PO are a couple.
yeah, that was me. Just fucked up. I mean, they are like a couple, a quarreling one, but a couple nonetheless. That would
They're
be
a couple of
horrible.
friends.
I would give up. I would give up. Straight up, be done with Star Wars at that point. But yeah, I want to talk. I can't stop laughing. Why is this in my head? It's so
Oh
stupid.
my God.
All right, let's talk about episode 2. So thoughts on episode 2. Definitely a lot slower than episode 1. Had a lot of scenes where they were just kind of dead. But when the map scene showed up, it's crazy to see like this technology, to think that beings from another universe were actually on this galaxy, and they had like this kind of technology. And I mean, yeah, it makes sense that the Witch of Dathomir is instigating all this, and she's the only one who knows how to make it work. Um, I think she's using the Dark Jedi. I'm going to assume that she's going to betray them once she finds
Absolutely.
Thrawn. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
There's no
In fact,
doubt in my
I
mind that
think
the
the
Inquisitor will
Padawan
kill
is
both.
also going to probably kill her master.
Oh yeah. 100%. 100%.
That's just Star Wars 101, right?
Literally. Literally, the Inquisitor is probably going to be ordered to kill both of them, and would not be surprised. Quite literally, she's just using them. So and when someone says they're getting offered power, they're not going to get the power they want. They're just going to get killed by Thrawn. Thrawn's going to pull out a gun and kill them both. Or Ezra will. Because, again, could be Ezra if it's Ezra. And, again, Ezra's either the Inquisitor or he's being held captive somewhere. I want to know, but there's no theory I can like say that's the one, because we have literally no clue what's happening. Now, how she can hear Thrawn calling her from across another universe, and why the whisper from Thrawn's voice sounded like freaking Voldemort's from Harry Potter.
You know what? This guy's got a point.
No, he's not wrong. But Thrawn's voice just sounds like that weird Harry Potter whisper, and it sounds feminine. So are you sure that's Thrawn calling you, or Mother Talcin?
Yeah, it might be Mother Talcin.
It
That would
literally
be way
just-
better if it was Mother Talcin.
Yeah, but it also would make no sense why the hell Mother Talcin would be in the series, because she's got nothing to do with her.
Yep, that's what I said. This guy.
Quite literally.
Alfalfa.
Now for the scene with the Empire Imperial loyalists. I mean, the guy was sus the moment they showed up. Like, quite literally was sus.
Oh my god. Oh my
So
god,
lame.
it's not you. Guys, I want to give a humongous shout out right now to my cousin Nick, who is in the chat right now. Thank you for being here, Nikki.
What's up, Nick? Anyhow, let me continue. Imperial loyalists. They died very fast. I love the attention to detail though, where they use the old Hira Syndulla blaster noise. They had that was a good attention to detail, I will say. They have a good attention for sound effects in Star Wars. Obviously,
They really
the
do.
newer sounds are good, but it was still cool. And it was also cool watching Imperials getting chopped up, even if they weren't stormtroopers, because they probably were ex-stormtroopers, the way they aimed with that pistol.
Most likely were, dude. Most likely.
Because they had terrible aim still, despite not having the helmets. And then the Inquisitor. Now, here's what doesn't make sense. And Melvin did make a good point. Vader killed the Inquisitors. Every single one of them. Whatever was left of them, obviously. Because he quite literally, almost all of them died already. The first one.
Yeah, and Star Wars Rebels, too. Yeah.
Ahsoka, in the Ahsoka series, in the Tales of the Jedi, that guy was trash. That Inquisitor was trash. He quite literally.
Oh yeah, it was like such a super cool look, and then Ahsoka comes in and kills him easily.
In like 2 seconds. It's like, my guy, who you be? Who are you? Why are you here? Get out if you're this useless. And then.
Yeah, I mean, he looks so cool, and he gets taken out so easily.
4 separate Inquisitors die horrible deaths in Rebels. I mean, Grand Inquisitor randomly just decides to become a Jedi again, and then disappears randomly.
Well, actually, technically, what happens to the Grand Inquisitor is he dies, comes back as a Force vision, not Force ghost, a Force vision, and then it turns out that because of that, Vader used the Force to it's in the comic books. It's legit weird. But Vader used the Force to basically trap him inside the temple for all of eternity to suffer, which is fantastic. That's Vader for you. And yet this guy.
Sounds like Darth Vader. Vader is a dipshit. He quite. And then let's talk about the other Inquisitor. Let's talk about the Inquisitors of Rebels. First one commits a death by jumping.
What's up, Tim?
What's up, Tim? Heard good things about you, man. Fifth brother is
definitely go check out Tim's channel. Completely
useless. Please. The fifth brother is quite literally useless in Ahsoka and Rebels, as he pretty much sits back and does nothing. Finally dies. Ninth sister, probably the most brutal one, and eighth brother, aka Darth Helicopter, falls off a cliff, trying to fly away. Then both Inquisitors in what's the game called? Jedi Fallen Order. They both die. And what's that one other Inquisitor? Reva just becomes good in the end after being stabbed twice. No idea how the hell she's still alive, but that's Disney Star Wars for you.
Yeah.
So, according to Vader committed Purge 2.0 by killing off the Inquisitors. So, what doesn't make sense is how there's still an Inquisitor alive, which is why I still think it's Ezra, because Ezra's quite literally could have taken an Inquisitor's weapon to replace an Inquisitor. Because how the hell would there still be?
I still think that would just butcher his character, though. I really hope that's not the case.
Listen, it's Disney. They don't care.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. But at the same time, it could be, just an Inquisitor who survived and has some lame backstory that we don't want to hear about. Or it's some character that we care about. Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon
rolling in his grave.
Both Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, both literally pissed off. But, and then, it was cool to see the Inquisitor fight with the Inquisitor fight style. You know, when you can't win with one blade, pull out blade number 2 and become Darth Helicopter. And in this one, they actually used the official Inquisitor lightsaber noises instead of the ones they used in Obi-Wan, which weren't the official ones. So it was a lot cooler because they paid attention to detail like that. I love the Inquisitor lightsaber because of the way it works. I mean, yeah, it's basically like a General Grievous lightsaber, except you don't have to spin your wrist. It does it for you. Feel like the Inquisitor character might have been unnecessary. But if it is Ezra, it was necessary. If it's not Ezra, it's an unnecessary character because we already have 2 Force users and we quite literally don't need a third one.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
Ezra needs to be around when they get there, because if it's just Sabine and Ahsoka, Sabine's gonna get her ass kicked and die because she couldn't handle off the apprentice. She's not gonna survive. Oh wait, I know what's gonna happen. I think I know what's gonna happen. So you remember in Rebels how Sabine and Ezra were training together?
Yeah.
Watches Sabine and Ezra duel, and he's the Inquisitor, and she realizes it's Ezra because of the way he's fighting. And she realizes it's him.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going to happen. I'm sorry. Disney's going to pull
I
that.
really hope they don't do. That would butcher his
she's going to
character
get
so
stuck
much.
in the lightsaber lock after fighting, and she's going to realize who it is. It's Ezra under the mask. Because they fight with the same style. They literally train together. This is a Disney move. Disney will straight up do this. I could be wrong, but this is the twist that Disney's going to pull, and it's so predictable at this point. But the chances of it happening are up to here at this point. Because there's no other reason for Ezra to not be a dark side user. Because where the hell is he? We have no context. I mean, I really hope it's that he's a captive. I really hope he's being held captive. But chances are they're not going to find Ezra, and they're going to be like, what did you do to Ezra? And you'll find out soon enough. Sabine's dueling with Ezra, and under the mask, it's Ezra. Like, this is exact. Think about it, Dylan. That would make sense in a lot of ways, though. Like, while it would butcher his character, it is something they would do. So, I'm hoping they don't. But the chances of it happening are getting higher and higher. When I think about it,
I really hope they don't butcher his character, man.
I will not
so bad.
be happy with Disney if they do, because Ezra Bridger, honestly, great character. But I mean, I could see how he turned to the dark side, though. He was already turning in. But I think there's a 99% chance he is a dark side user in this series. As much as it pains me to say that, I think he is. We'll find out, though.
I hope they don't do that. I really hope they
I
don't.
will be watching I will be binging the Ahsoka series to make sure that we find out. I don't know how many.
What do you think of the villain? Dang it, what was his name?
The Jedi?
The old guy, the Jedi. Yeah, I can't remember.
Balin or something?
Yeah.
It was
Balin. Yeah, you were right, Balin. What do you think of him? Because so far he's an interesting character to me.
He has respect for Ahsoka.
How he knows Ahsoka and everybody.
So he has respect for Ahsoka. I mean, Ahsoka doesn't remember him somehow, but it doesn't strike me because Ahsoka was pretty much a bitch and a young child when she was.
Yeah, she was a teenager.
She was a teenager. So. How do you not remember stuff from when you were a teenager? I was smoking the weed. But anyhow, what wouldn't surprise me though is if they got in a fight and she let him live. Because we know that if Ezra turns out to be the dark side user, the finale battle won't be against Ezra because Ahsoka is too good for Ezra. Like, if you get what I mean, because she'll be dueling Balin as Balin is connected to her. Ezra has barely any connection to her, so they won't be dueling. it'll be if Ezra's a villain, it will be Sabine and Ezra. But Balin, I have a feeling, will be fighting off Ahsoka, and either they will be betrayed in the end. There'll probably be a scene where Balin wins a fight and then just lets her go because he has too much respect for her. But I have a feeling that one way, or after they bring Thrawn back and Balin's left to take out Ahsoka, he'll probably change his mind at the last minute and say he killed her and then get killed like General Hux got killed, basically. Try to lie, because Thrawn's the kind of guy who won't believe shit, because Thrawn knows. So I think he's got a good character. I loved seeing him in both episodes. He doesn't really seem like a villain. He just seems like someone who's working for the money. He's not a villain. Like, that's all I really notice, is he's not evil. Because yes, he wants power. But if he was evil, he'd be a lot more evil. He just wants to do what he's being paid to do. I don't see him as a villain in a lot of ways after the second episode. They're just Jedi who turned rogue.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyhow, so those are genuinely my two thoughts on the episodes.
Yeah, they are not Sith.
They're not Sith, 100%. But what I want to know is how those three are going to get to what is it called? My head hurts. The galaxy that Ezra's at. I heard that Rex is going to be in it. I mean, I've heard Rex makes an appearance in the show. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure he does. If he does, that'll be amazing. I wonder what kind of blaster sound they're going to use. Probably the Clone Wars one, which would be cool. Sorry, I really like the sound effects in Star Wars. Because I'm a sound editor. But I'm pretty sure Rex will show up, and that makes sense, as he is also a Rebels character as well as the Clone Wars character. If he does show up, it will be cool to see Rex again. I don't know if Zeb's ever going to show up. Zeb might, because we know he's alive.
I hope Zeb shows up, and this was actually shoutouts to, again, Tim right here. He actually said that there might be a case on his channel. He said this: there might be a case where they might go and try to pick up the whole team together. So we'll get Zeb in, we'll get Hera, a couple other members of the old team. Obviously, our boy Kanan is dead, but they might get his son involved. That might be cool if they go that route. I don't know yet, so. But yeah, it'd be cool. We've already seen him. We've already seen him in Mando. Why not have him just show up here too?
Yeah, especially after the amount of female characters we've had. I think it's about time we had a male. Bring in one dude, I swear. One.
Well, we do have one dude. We have the robot.
That's not how it works. Just because his voice is a male, robots don't have genders. They don't have wieners. They don't have pussies or dicks. They don't have gender.
He's still a male. He's still a male robot to me, but
3PO is a bitch. He's not a male. He's a bitch.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But anyhow, so there's so many theories that we can make, Dylan, and we can always come back and do another stream, talk about when we finally see the finale. Come back, because I'd love to reappear on this channel, give a long ass talk about what actually happened, and
yeah.
I
mean, I don't know. So of course my schedule is pretty packed with I'm going live every time a new episode comes out, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we could do this like for every single episode.
No, I'm talking
every
about
couple of episodes.
I'm talking about every. That's what I was saying. Like not every episode, Dylan. I'm saying, like when we get closer to the
every
finale,
couple of episodes, this could be cool. Yeah, like around like episode 4 or 5, this could be cool to redo.
Yeah, then we could rejoin and say how we're seeing more. Maybe our opinions and our theories can shift, because there's so many theories. It's just the ones where Ezra's evil make the most sense right now.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the ones with him being still good and just chained up somewhere doesn't make sense because there's not much evidence. But that's really all I have to say about Ahsoka. And I look forward to
Yeah.
seeing the rest of the series. I want to see where it goes.
Same with me. And I will be the first to say this. You know, I'm always the first to say this. But the thing is, if this show sucks, if this show becomes mediocre, I will stop watching anything Disney Star Wars because Disney Star Wars sucks. This is the first time. This is kind of their last chance for me. I mean, I will never stop being a Star Wars fan. I mean, for God's sakes, look at what I got today. I have this to put together now. Which is gonna be fun. But I will always have Star Wars content on the channel, but I will not be watching any of the new stuff if the Ahsoka show sucks.
Yeah, because let's looking at all the theories we have, all those could make Ahsoka great in a way. Our theories could make Ahsoka great. If they somehow manage to do none of those and manage to make this story terrible, even more than the theories are, because our theories make Ahsoka out to be pretty, not great, but good. If they somehow fail to do that, Ahsoka's just done, dude. Like, this Disney Star Wars is done. I need something that gives me, I want to see a destroyed Imperial Star Destroyer. Like, I want them to land there. We can get the OG vibes that came from the sequels. I want to see, the rise of the First Order, maybe. And I want to see Ezra. If Ezra is dead,
they better not do that. They better not do that.
Sabine will be probably squaring off though against him. And Balin will probably get killed by Thrawn. All this.
Actually, I think Balin's sidekick. I think she's gonna kill Balin.
She might, but you have to remember they're not exactly dark side users, so they don't really have the same intentions.
They are Jedi, so who knows? We'll have to see. But with that said, guys, I'm about to end the show here. Thank you, Army Initiative, for talking about Ahsoka with me, and hopefully we can do this in the future, a couple episodes down the line.
Yeah.
With that said, over on my side, again, guys, literally in 2 days, my Ahsoka figurine unboxing is coming. Then I have, of course, Lego sets to build and a whole bunch of other Star Wars content coming to the channel, as well as Ahsoka reviews live, Ahsoka reviews personal thoughts, as well as Ahsoka random streams like this one. So look forward to that. And Army Initiative, tell people where they can find you at.
Last, but not least, repeating what I said earlier, go ahead and search my name up on YouTube. My channel typically pops up. You'll see it. I'll turn off my camera for a moment to show what my profile looks like because it's the same profile. Find my channel. We're close to 500, which is when I can start making money on YouTube. Lots of big collaborations. There's also old Star Wars content. If you guys still want to see Star Wars stuff, I have it on my channel. You can also join the Discord. Dylan's also on the Discord as well. He's not super active, but he is active. Anyone
just
you want
enough to say hello, you know?
Yeah. Anytime any of you want to join, pop in, hang out, let me know. As always, great to be here, Dylan. Nice to talk to your viewers as well. I hope you reach 200. I'll be making sure.
Guys, I am literally I think 11 away. I actually got a sub from this stream while looking at it just a little while ago. But I am like 11 away now from literally hitting 200 subs. Let's hopefully do it. I as well am trying to get to 500, but 200 is my next goal.
You'll do it. You're my next shout out of the week, Dylan. You're getting there now. There's no stopping.
I am close, man. I'm very close. But
I'm gonna sign off though, guys. Thank you for having me, Dylan. I'm gonna sign off now. Thank you.
I'm about to close this anyway. So thank you guys, absolutely. And I'll see you guys around. See ya. I'm out. Bye.
Subscribe to Dylan's Little Hobbies right now.